let's keep moving. It's the Manly Seagulls. They are taking on your boys, the Cowboys, this week. It's 10th versus 9th. This game could have huge implications on who makes the top 8, who misses the top 8. But you've got Ruben Garrick, Jason Saab, Brad Parker, Mr. Cooler, Christian Tuapalatu, Josh Schuster, and DCE in the halves. Tanila Paseka, Lachlan Croker, Mr. Sipley, Hamuel Olakwatu, Kelma Tuolagi, Jake Trebojevic, Dean Madison, Aaron Woods, Ethan Bullimore, and Josh Alloway on the bench, with Sean Kepi as the 18th man, with the extended bench of Morgan Harper, Raymond Vega, Jake Arthur, and Gordon Chunkumton. So obviously Burbo, the little brother of Jake and Tommy, has had another hamstring injury, so he is out. He will miss a few weeks.
Oh
so
my God!
In that game against the Roosters, but maybe those hammies they play a little bit in that family gene.
Does hamstring injuries and the word Trebojevic go hand in hand together? Like, are we serious here? We like the other one is good. Jake, I think what was his problem? If it was that a bit of a hamstring injury, Origin 1. It was the hand. Aha. So it started with HA, just ham and hand a little bit different, but hamstring injuries and Jake Trebojevic, mate, they go hand in hand. Unfortunately, shout out to little Benny Trebojevic. Was a good double at 4 Pines Park that picks up a hamstring injury. Enjoy your rest because. Mate, the run home for the Manly Seagulls now, before we get into it, as I scroll down quickly, they got us this weekend at home. Then they go to Shark Park and against the Sharks. Then they go down to Wollongong against Dragons. Then they got you guys at the SCG. Then they go to Penrith. Then they're home to Panthers. Then they go to Auckland. Then they're back here at a core stadium against the Dogs. Then they finish up with an easy 2-pointer at 4 Pines Park against the West Tigers. So really, 1, 2, let's go 3 out of those rest of the games are easable wins from, in my point of view. So what's that? 6 points plus the 21. They're on 27 points, which does give them a finals appearance, but. Mate, they're dropping like flies. Ruben Garrick go back at fullback, which I like to see. I don't like to see him out in the centres, but is what it is. DCE comes back from Origin. Josh Schuster, the slimmer, more versatile Josh Schuster. They're coming along good. These two. Finally, you get to see it. He's finally hitting what we all hyped him up. We all hyped him up to be this good 6, and he's finally hitting his straps, and now he's going to play second row next year, so he's going to put on that weight.
Do you reckon the reason he's hit his straps is because Jake Arthur's coming to the squad? Like, he's got competition now. He's got competition. He's got competition next year as well. Like before the announcement of him moving. For his extension, Jake Arthur was announced that he is into the squad, so he for this year. Then there was Brooksy the day before. Do you think, is there a psychological where he goes, it seems to be him at 6 isn't the best way to go. This is the first year at him at 6, isn't it? First year at 6, and it hasn't worked out. So now he's been pushed back row, which. These blokes need to just commit to one position and just stick to it. Don't try and move around, because you can see a lot of players across the NRL who move from a mobility position where you need to be fast, flexible, compared to a front row position where you need to be more top heavy to be able to take the hits whilst busting through tackles and whatnot. So pick one, stick it. It is reported today that Matt Lodge is on a train and trial for the rest of the year. I think that's pretty good considering the last train and trial contract he was on. He was the most informed front row, back row, whatever position he was of the year in that period of time he was at the Sydney Roosters. So
Maybe we see him run out in a Manly jersey before the season's end, but we'll just skip over to my boys and we'll go from there.
Well, we will skip over to your boys, and I will throw it across to you. But
here we go.
Let me just get your quick thoughts before we talk about his lineup. We talk about this being 9th versus 10th. If they win, they jump you. If you win, you obviously go a bit further into that top 8. But you have Manly. You then take on Parramatta, who arguably you and Parramatta are probably two of the most informed teams not in that top 4 at the moment. You then go to the Titans. It's a derby. Fair enough. You probably are the better team, but there is a derby. It does have that implication. You then take on Brisbane, another derby. You have the bye. You go to you play the Sharks. You play the Dolphins, another derby. You play Penrith in Penrith to wrap up the season. Before you talk about this lineup, does this game go a long way in which team can make this top 8 push coming the end of the season?
Yes, and I say it only because it is 9th versus 10th. It is only a point apiece. So, if let's just say we were already 3rd at, I don't know, let's just say we're at 26 points and Manly were travelling where they were, it doesn't sort of derail our season if we do lose compared to if we lose at 9th, being that we're only a point in front, which will put us behind the 8 ball because, yes, we have a bye in hand going forward, but so Souths have 2, Eels have 1, the Warriors have 1, Manly have used all theirs up. So the gap, if we lose this weekend, the gap being only 4 and against at the moment could see us 4 points drift apart, if not 6, come later on in the end of the season. So it is a do or die match this weekend, and the way we are rolling, I think we can get the job done. And as I'll go through the team list, we're looking pretty good compared to the start of the season. Quickly look down the list. Jason comes back from the World Cup, bit underdone. Nanai is a bit underdone with his World Cup stint as well. Luchi Leilua can't get on the field due to stand-down reasons by the NRL. Murray Talangai, Valentine Holmes, all have their World Cup duties as well. So a bit underdone. The preparation of pre-season can't be implemented like it was last year. Nonetheless, we're all back. We're all humming, firing, and mate, we got the number 19 New South Wales player, future fullback, Scotty Drinkwater in the fullback role. We've got Semi Valeri, who's leaving Kyle Felt out of the squad completely. We've got the Queensland State of Origin winner, Valentine Holmes. We've got Peter for Queensland, Chad Townsend, Jordan McLean, Reece Robson, the future number 9 for New South Wales, Colin Hentz, Big Luchi Leilua, Jeremiah Nana, another Queensland winner. We got the man of the series, the Wally Lewis medal winner in Ruben Cotter, who played not 1, not 2, but 3 different positions, all in all 3 games of Origin in 2023. So that's pretty impressive for me. Jake Granville, Griffin Nam, Jason Tamalolo on the bench, and KF to round out the interchange bench. 18th man is Kyle Felt. JTB, Zach Labour, Sam Mikatai, who hasn't made a start since signing with us, Riley Price, Ben Hampton, and Brendan Elliott to round out our extended squad. Of 22 to 24. I think I touched on it. Injuries at the start of the season, lack of preparation. We're now finally, Origin comes, we start all humming, we start being this squad that everybody saw last year. We finally hit our strides. Then we get smacked for 60 and Luke Brooks 200th. But hats off to Luke Brooks, because I think that was an inside job. But nonetheless, we smack him for 74 again at home, and we've just been playing great football. We played South. Going forward, quickly as I look at our current form. I just had it up and it's just disappeared. You know, we lost to Eels during the Origin. Then we were at home with the Storm. We win. We're at home to no Origin players for either side against Penrith Panthers, and we win. So, as I said, another 2 points come the end of the year because they'll rest their players. So that we are easy.
Can't say no
4-pointer.
Origin players anymore because you have Scott Drinkwater and he's an Origin player.
Well, at the time, he wasn't an Origin player. At the time, he wasn't an Origin player when we won. So, but now he is. So, nonetheless, then we beat South quite convincingly. Then, even convincingly, we beat Tigers. And mate, one loss out of the last 5 games is pretty impressive for me during that Origin period. So, yeah, I'll never knock back my boys. I think we can do it. Are we going to do it out of the park? No, I think this is going to be another arm wrestle of a game, and I think it's going to go down to the wire, probably golden point with us winning. Hopefully not, because I don't want to be sitting on the edge of my seat come 7 o'clock on a Saturday when I've got my 2 little nephews over when I'm babysitting them. So, yeah, I'm going to go us 1 to 12.
You're not going to like this, but I'm going to agree with you. I'm going to go 1 to 12. I think if this game was in North Queensland, I would have lent towards 13 plus with you boys because, like you said, you are humming, you are playing your better football when you are playing in North Queensland. But I just look at this team list and I go, we had this debate off air. Scott Drinkwater, you asked me if I'd have him above Tedesco and who makes the Origin side, and I said, okay, on runs on the board, no. But if you had to go on current form, he should have been a starting fullback on Wednesday night. Now, I'm not saying drop Tedesco. He is the captain.
Yes, you are. Yes, you are. Drop Teddy.
No, Teddy was always going to play that game 3. Didn't matter how bad he played in game 1 or 2. He was always going to get game 3. And you look at next year. But
drop him.
For Scott Drinkwater now, he probably is arguably in attacking stats. He's leading the race. But
we'll talk about it in the Origin. We'll do it then. But I don't really pick him. I think there's other fullbacks that could play better than him.
There is other fullbacks, and I think I had him 3rd on my list. I believe. I think I had Latrell first. First.
Would you really move Latrell out of centre?
Well, that's the thing. It depends.
Like we'll talk about it more in Origin.
Now and Stephen Crichton. So
don't give me Best.
You can't say he's not. He has no. But you can't say that now. If you were to drop Tedesco, next game 1.
Or let's just say he retires. Let's just say Teddy retires.
He retires from international. You would have to play a Latrell at fullback, which would open that spot for what Bradman Best has arguably earned from his game.
I'd pick Tony Staggs over Best, given that Tony Staggs has more NRL runs on the board when it comes down to.
He hasn't got more Origin runs on the board, and Bestman's only played 1 game.
So Tony's only played 1 game and got picked and dropped. Like, that hurt his confidence, but he's rebounded really, really terrifically. Even this year, Tony Stagg has been playing out of his skin. That's why I probably put him based on form, but nonetheless, that is an Origin talk. We'll talk about it in the Origin wrap-up, but
1 to 12s across the board, Baxter?
Yeah, of course. And shout out to the Hello Sport podcast. If you're listening, 13 Manly 13 plus, mate. Manly never, Cowboys forever.
Well, we might try and get that up on Instagram and have a little chat with those boys because I'm sure they would love to give it back to you a little